Welcome everybody to another edition of Unscripted Sports Show. I'm your host Money E, and this is the College Football Conference Championship edition for picks. Uh, this weekend is the conference championship. Got 3 on Friday and 6 on Sunday. 6 on Saturday. So you got the Mountain West on Friday. You got the American Athletic Championship one on Friday, and you got the what do you got on Friday? Oh, we got some. What up, Catfish? Welcome. Where's the other game on Friday? You got the conference, you got the Mountain West, and you got the AAC. What am I missing? Do you know, Catfish? Let's see. Oh, Conference USA. That's right. You got Conference USA one on Friday. You got the Mountain West, and you got the AAC, aka American Athletic Championship between Army and Tulane. Mountain West between Boise State and UNLV, and Conference USA is between Jacksonville State and Western Kentucky. And Jacksonville State is in Alabama, which I always thought it was in Florida because it's Jacksonville, but it's in Jacksonville, Alabama. I got it. It was Conference USA. I forgot, but thank you. But yeah, it's going to be a great conference weekend. I love conference championship weekend. Games are going to be fun. You got a lot of games that have a lot of implications on the playoff, and a lot of things could go wrong. Not wrong, but there could be a big clusterfuck if some of these underdogs win, because the top four. Remember, the top four conference champions get a bye week. That's the top four ranked conference champions. So if, let's say, top four right now is Oregon, Texas, Penn State. No, Oregon, Texas, SMU, and Boise State. Those are the top four conference leaders that are ranked. Not not the rankings, but the top four conference leaders, because those are the leaders right now. If all of them lose and like Penn State wins, Georgia wins, Clemson wins, and UNLV wins, does UNLV get in, or does Louisiana get in from the Sun Belt? Because there's going to be that fifth, and then you got the Big 12 conference winner in Arizona State or Iowa State. So if Iowa State wins, do they move into that fourth spot? And then who's the fifth conference winner? Is it from the Sun Belt? Is it Army? No, I don't think they have enough. They don't have a strong schedule enough to make the case. But they would be 11, and they still have another game be played. They're playing a conference championship game, but they still have another regular season game next week against Navy, which is weird because they still have another game after this. So if they win the conference, they could go into the Army Navy game next week as conference champions, and they could lose that game and be conference champions. So, which is weird. There's no nugget there, but yeah, I think it could all go to cluster if those four winners win. Does Louisiana have a case for to be the 5th one. Where do they put them? Number 12. So we'll get to the college football rankings and then my seeding rankings later. Mine could be controversial a little bit because number 2 is not who you think it is. But let's review last week. Last week I went 5-5. I'm 76 and 61 on the season. 74 and 61 on the season. My bets are awful. 1-3, 15 and 32, 5-9 on my money play best bets. So those are horrible, but I pick them 74 and 61. So this week it's only 9 picks, but then the Army Navy pick I'll do as a short. So I'll do that. Let's get to the first game. Conference USA. That's tomorrow. Keep forgetting today's Thursday, because I usually do this on Wednesdays or Tuesdays. But Conference USA, Western Kentucky is plus 160 on the money line. Jacksonville State is minus 4.5, and this is in Jacksonville, Alabama, because Conference USA is the host is the higher conference team. A team that's the highest conference winner. I mean, there's no neutral site for the Conference USA. It's at the site where the team that has the best conference record, and that was Jacksonville State. So Conference USA does that. I think the Sun Belt does that, and the Mountain West does that. So yeah, those 3 conferences do not do neutral sites, which they should, but it will be at the host of the best conference record team. So back to the game, Jacksonville State. I have them winning 34-24, covering the spread, and the over/under is 57.5. So I have this going over. Right? Yeah, I see. Right at 58, actually. Right at 58, I have this going. So, Jacksonville State winning the Conference USA Championship. It should be a good game. That's at 8 o'clock on CBS Network. No, 7:30 CBS Network. Next game at 8 o'clock is the Mountain West Championship. UNLV, number 19 UNLV versus number 10 Boise State, and this is from the Blue Turf in Boise, Idaho. Boise State is 11-1, and UNLV is 10-2. UNLV is 3.5 point underdogs. They are 152 on the money line. This is all FanDuel, so if you want to find a better number, go ahead. I have Boise State winning 45-43. I have Boise State getting a late field goal. UNLV is down 42-37. They get a touchdown. Boise State goes downfield, and so Boise State, UNLV goes for 2, misses it. They're up 43-42. Boise State goes downfield, gets a game-win field goal, and wins the Mountain West Championship, and secures their spot in the playoff. Probably number 4 in the playoff. Yeah, I think this is going to be the best game tomorrow. It's going to be a really good game. I expect a high-scoring game, 45-43. So, obviously, I think it's going to go over. That's also 57.5. The American Athletic Championship game, Tulane and Army. At number 24, Army, 10-1 Army versus Tulane, 9-3. Tulane blew their chance at hosting this game last week against Memphis, and they blew their chance at possibly getting into playoffs, whatever slight chance they had. And they are the favorite, minus 5.5. And Army is plus 180 on the money line. I have Tulane winning 34-17. I think Tulane's going to do what they did to Navy. They did to Army because Army is the same way, plays the same way. So, and this is 8 o'clock on ABC at Army. So this is going to. I don't think Army keeps it close because I think Tulane is just a better team, and they just looked ahead last week, I think. So I have Tulane winning. First game on Saturday, the MAC championship, Ohio versus Miami, Ohio, a rivalry game. Battle of Ohio's, of course, two Ohio teams. Ohio is plus 108 on the money line. Miami, Ohio is minus 1.5. Over under is 44.5. I have Ohio winning 23-20. And this is in Detroit, Michigan, from Ford Field in Detroit. So I have that. And then the next game, the Big 12 Championship, Arizona State and Iowa State from Jerry's World in Dallas, Texas. Iowa State's number 16, Arizona State's number 12, both 10-2. They're coming in hot. Arizona State's minus 2.5 on the money line on the spread. Plus 106 on the money line for Iowa State. Over under 49.5. 12 o'clock on ABC. I have Arizona State winning 24-21 and covering this spread. And the under hitting. I think this is going to be a really good game. I think this could go either way. Arizona State's missing their top receiver. I forgot his name. But what else? I have. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good game. I think it could go either way. But I have Arizona State winning 24-21. I think they're slightly the hotter team right now. But I could see Iowa State winning and getting into the playoffs. So either way, I think one of these teams could be a dangerous team in the playoff because they're hot. Don't overlook these one of these two teams in the playoffs. In fact, I think both of them probably deserve to be in it, but if not here or there, we can discuss that later. Next game, SEC Championship game, 4 o'clock on ABC. It should be on CBS, but that's not here or there. Over under 49.5. Texas, Georgia rematch. Georgia beat Texas about a month ago in Austin. So Texas looking for revenge. Georgia is 10-2. Texas is 11-1. Texas is minus 2.5 on the spread, and Georgia is plus 120 on the money line. I have Texas winning, getting revenge, winning 27-24. But would I be surprised if Georgia won? No. But I don't think Texas is as good as people think. I think they're a fraud team. I think probably Georgia is a fraud team too. But yeah, I have Texas winning 27-24. If Georgia wins, I wouldn't be surprised. I think Texas played a soft schedule. They played a lot of teams with backups. They played Florida with their backup. They played, I think, They played another team with their backup. I forget who. I think it was Vandy. But yeah, and Georgia almost lost to Georgia Tech last week, so they might not even be in the playoff discussion if unless they win. if they had lost last week. Quite frankly, they probably should have lost last week. But that game was fantastic. So, I have Georgia winning 27-24. No, I have Texas winning 27-24. Sorry about my voice. Just getting over a cold, so. But yeah. Thank you for the people who are watching. Next game. Oh shit. That was only 2 people. Sun Belt Championship. You got Marshall and at Louisiana. 10-2 Louisiana is 5.5 point favorites. Over under is 56.5. Marshall is plus 168 on the money line. I have Louisiana winning 31-21 and going to 11-2. Can they get into the playoff? No. It would have to take probably Boise State to lose. And then you have the discussion is, do you have UNLV or Louisiana? But I don't think Louisiana is in the discussion. But that would be interesting if Boise State did lose. Who would be that 5th conference winner? Would it be UNLV? Would it be Louisiana State? Louisiana? That would be a real interesting discussion because there is going to be a 5th conference winner. Who is it going to be? Is it going to be from the Mountain West? Is it going to be from the Sun Belt? Is it going to be? Could it be Army if they win? Could it be? I don't know who else could it be. It's not going to be from the MAC. I'll tell you that much. It's not going to be. Yeah, it would probably have to be UNLV if they beat Boise State. So, next game, one of the most important games of the day, the ACC Championship game. Clemson is. This is from Charlotte. Clemson is plus 112 on the money line. SMU is minus 2.5 point favorites. 55.5 is the over under. SMU. I think SMU wins 30-27. Clemson snuck in because Miami lost too, so they got in because Miami lost. This should have been Miami, but Miami fucked up. So Clemson is in. Somehow they backed their way into the championship. Wow. Now that would be. Then you can't punish SMU. They ran the table in the ACC in their first year. So if Clemson wins, SMU is in too. Because you can't punish them for losing in the conference championship game for an extra game. They ran the table in the ACC in their first year. Just like Oregon did, just like Texas didn't run the table, but the Oregon did too. So you can't punish them. I have SMU winning a close game, 30-27, covering the spread, and the over-under hitting at 57. Last game, Penn State and number 3 Penn State and number 1 Oregon, undefeated Oregon. This game is from Indianapolis, Big Ten championship game. Oregon is 12-0. Penn State is 11-1. Their only loss is to Ohio State, who lost to Michigan. That's why Penn State's in this game. They hold the tiebreaker against Indiana, even though they both lost to Ohio State, but Ohio State fucked up themselves. This would have been the Ohio State-Oregon rematch, where Oregon won 32-31 in Eugene earlier in the season. So we missed out on a rematch from Oregon and Ohio State rematch. So thanks Ohio State. Thanks Ryan Day. I have Oregon winning 34-33. Sorry, Penn State fans. I know I have a lot of Penn State fans family that went to Penn State, so I have a soft spot for Penn State, but I have Oregon winning here 34-33, proving 13-0 and securing that number 1 seed. And Penn State probably drops to number 5 or 6. They don't drop that far. They will host a home game, so there will be a first round game from Happy Valley, which would be fantastic. Hopefully it will be snowing. So yeah, so those are my predictions for the conference championships. My best bet for Friday is Jacksonville State -4.5, -114 on the night is the odds. Saturday's bet Texas Georgia over 49.5, -110. And my money play, I forgot to change. It's not week 11, but it's conference championship. So disregard that. Let me change that. CC conference championship money play best bet. Louisiana -5.5, -114 too. And yeah. And here are the rankings for the college playoff. 5th one. These are not my rankings. These are the actual playoff rankings. So yeah. Jordan. So number 1 is Oregon. Number 2 is Texas. Number 3 is Penn State. Number 4 is Notre Dame. Number 5 is Georgia. Number 6 is Ohio State. 7 is Tennessee. 8 is SMU. 9 is Indiana. 10 is Boise State. 11 is Alabama. And 12 is, let me see who 12 is. Let me see. 12, I forgot who 12 was. Shoot. Playoff ranking. Let me see here. Number 12 is Miami. So Miami drops to 12 after that loss. Yeah. So those are the college football rankings. Their 5th rankings, and they said that the teams that are not playing will probably stay put. So it looks like Alabama will probably get in, which I don't agree with, but Alabama is a big brand. They're the biggest brand in college football besides Texas and Notre Dame. Be right back. Be right back. I'll be back in a sec. I'm back. So yeah, Tennessee. So now to my rankings. I see you're a Penn State fan, Catfish, right? So who do you have winning the conference championship games, especially the Big Ten one? For everybody that's watching, who do you have winning the SEC championship, the Big Ten, and the ACC, the Big Three, the Big Four, and the Big 12? Unless you guys want to give your all of them, leave it in the. Do you have family going to Penn State too? See, Penn State is. It's not my first team. I'm a Gators fan, so Penn State is my, I guess my hometown team or my family team. Because I have family that went there. I have family that went to Michigan too, so kind of root for Michigan too. So I was happy when Michigan beat Ohio State. I want to consider myself a big Penn State fan, but I root for them. I don't root against them unless they're playing Florida. Florida, I'm an SEC guy, but I don't even think Alabama deserves to be in the playoffs. But they're going to be in the playoffs because it's Alabama. It's Alabama. They're the Lakers. They're the Yankees. They're the Cowboys of college football. Plain and simple. If they had lost 4 games, the committee would try to find a way to put them in the playoffs. It's Alabama. It's freaking Alabama. And I have family that went to Alabama too, so. Yeah, go Gators. I think the Gators can. What do you think? Do you think the Gators are gonna make a run this year after the way they finished and Napier saved his job? As long as DJ doesn't transfer, hopefully. I don't think he will because he likes playing under Napier. I think the recruits that we get, I think Florida can make a run this year, especially because Ole Miss is losing their quarterback. Who knows who they're going to get in the transfer portal. Alabama, who knows who's going to be their quarterback. Georgia, they'll retool as usual, but I think Florida could be a dark horse for the playoff next year. I really do. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Gators fan. I'm saying that because the way we ended at 7-5, nobody had us at 7-5 this year. Nobody. We had one of the hardest schedules in college football. A lot of people had us win 3 or 4 games, if that. Yeah, I'm impressed how DJ improved his team, and I'm impressed that Bill Napier got this team to 7 wins and maybe 8 if we win a bowl game. I'm impressed with this Gators team, and I'm hoping this leads to a playoff run next year because I think this team could do nice things with DJ. So back to my rankings. I have, as you see in the bottom, I have Oregon number 1. These are playoff rankings, playoff seeding rankings. So that's why I have SMU number 2. They've been number 2 since I did this, I think for 3 weeks. Yeah, we better get a bowl game. It better be in Florida too. But yeah, my rankings are Oregon, SMU, Texas, and Boise State. Those are my top 4 conference leaders rankings. Top 4 conference leaders. Yes, I know I have SMU number 2, but that's before Texas became number in the top 4. I had Georgia there before. So since SMU hasn't lost a game since I started this, I leave them at number 2, Texas number 3, and Boise State number 4. Number 5 is Penn State. No, number 5 is, who do I have number 5? Number 5 is Penn State. Number 6 is Notre Dame. Number 7 is Ohio State. I don't drop them as much as I don't drop them behind Georgia because Georgia. I keep Georgia at number 8 because their win wasn't impressive. And then number 9 is, who do I have number 9? Number 9, I have this. Hold on. Number 9 is Indiana. Number 10 is Arizona State. Number 11 is Tennessee. I have to moving up from number 12. Number 12 is Iowa State. So in the playoff matchups, I have projected first round matchups. Iowa State at Penn State, Tennessee at Notre Dame, Arizona State at Ohio State, and Indiana at Georgia. And this all, obviously, the top 4 is the top 4 teams. Those 4 teams I have winning their conference championship, so it works out that way. Who else? At number So number 12. So let's say Penn State wins and Texas wins. So Texas moves to number 1, Penn State number 2, SMU wins to number 3, Boise State wins to number 4, Oregon number 5, number 6 would be Notre Dame, number 7 would be Ohio State. Based off, so if the committee says the teams that don't play will stay in their ranking, so if Oregon loses, they will probably be number 5 because Georgia loses. They'll probably be number 8 because SMU would move to number. See, the rankings are different from the seedings. I did it by seedings, so for me, if there's a lot of different scenarios, this all could go haywire if Oregon, Texas, SMU, and Boise State all lost. If they all lost, that means Penn State, Clemson, Georgia, Penn State, Georgia, Clemson, and UNLV, and then if Iowa State won, those would be the 5 conference champions. And as I said before, does UNLV get in, or do you put Louisiana in? That's the question, because you have the Big 12 champion become the 4th conference ranked team. So I'm assuming if that happens in that scenario, Texas would be number 1, Penn State would be number 2, Arizona, let's say Iowa State wins, Iowa State would be number 3, and Clemson number 4, and then UNLV number the 5th conference one, and they would probably be number 12 in the seedings. So, and then Oregon will be number 5. Notre Dame would be number 6. Ohio State 7. And your host for playoff games would be Oregon, Notre Dame, SMU. Because I don't think you drop SMU that far. And Ohio State, I guess. It would be interesting to see what happens if those 4 lose. What the committee would do. Because you figure the loser of the Big Ten championship would still host a game. The big loser of the Big 12 championship. No, the loser of the SEC championship will host a game. The loser of the ACC championship depend. If Clemson loses, they're out. So if SMU loses, I think they still deserve to host a game. That's 3 right there. And number 4 would be probably Ohio State. Or Georgia. Do they go SEC bias or do they go Big Ten bias? Probably Ohio State. Ohio State would probably host a game. I think Ohio State and Notre Dame are locked in to host a game. Unless something dramatic happens. So I think the loser of the Big Ten and the loser of the SEC will host a game. And I think Ohio State and Notre Dame will host a game. So SMU might be left out in hosting the game if they lose. But I think they deserve to host a game if they lose because they ran the table and they played an extra game. So, but unless they get blown out, then maybe not. But does Miami get in? I don't know. But does anybody have any questions or comments? Let's discuss some. Anybody have any other scenarios that could happen? Well, thank you, Catfish, for watching and the others for watching. Thanks. Leave a comment below. Share the video. Tomorrow night on the Wrestling Through the Years, myself, Doug, and Daniel will be doing top 10 underrated baby faces. Check that out in the Wrestling Through the Years YouTube channel. It'll be in the description. Remember to like and subscribe to all our channels on Everything Unscripted Unscripted Network. Let's see. Yeah, Catfish. Scenarios are wild because if I like the first one I said, if Texas loses, Oregon loses, Boise State loses, especially Boise State loses, that's gonna cause some controversy because do they put UNLV in? Do they put Army in? Do they, especially if Army wins? There's a lot of scenarios where this could cause a lot of chaos, and I'm here for it because if the Gators are not in it, I'm here for chaos. I'm hoping Alabama doesn't get in, but they're gonna get in. We all know that they're gonna get in. You think Alabama's gonna get in? SEC bias, ESPN bias. Yeah. I would love to see Notre Dame Penn State first round. but I think they're both gonna host a game. So, do they put Miami in over Alabama? Is there any possibility of that? Probably not, unless Miami has some money that it can pay off the committee. Joking. Catfish, does Bama get in? Is that 100%? If you didn't watch live and you watch this later, leave a comment. Leave your scenarios. Tell me if you think Bama deserves to be in. I don't. They lost to two 6-6 teams. They lost to, who else did they lose to? They lost to Vandy. They lost to Tennessee, and they lost to Oklahoma. Bama is not what Bama is. They're not Nick Saban's Bama anymore. We need to stop putting Bama in because they're Bama. It's like putting the Yankees in if they were 81 and 81. Or no, it would be like putting the Yankees in the playoffs if they were 79 and 83. I wish they would stop being biased to the SEC. Even though I'm an SEC guy, BYU deserves to be in over Alabama. Miami deserves to be in over Alabama, even though I hate Miami with passion. I hate everything about Miami. But Miami probably deserves to be in over Alabama. They lost to Georgia Tech and they lost to Syracuse on the road. Two good teams. Bama lost to two of their three losses were to 6-6 teams. So, if you're still watching Catfish, let me know before I head out what you think. Let me see if anybody else. Well, I guess he left. Catfish, I'll see you in the Discord. For Money E, I'm out. Later. Let's see.